action. Okay, so thank you, Mohammad Mosdali. And let's go on and start this. So we all know about virtualization, effective use of our hardware resources by deploying a hypervisor or which has a very small footprint layer between our operating system and applications, which lets the operating system use the resources of the hardware. But the main thing is that we are all using nowadays virtualization, and today, of course, we're going to be using virtualization by working on this VMware workstation, and we will have these three machines to work on where we're going to be deploying our network. Okay, guys, my audio is okay. Everyone, my audio is. Are you able to listen to me perfectly? Is there small kind of noise? Testing 1 2 3. Okay, so there's a reply. It's okay. Thank you, and let me know if there's a distortion at any time. I would repeat that thing, and we could go ahead. Um, so, okay, so virtualization. We all know that it's effective use of hardware. Let's go ahead and talk about some of the things that we're going to be doing during this course. um, so this is the physical server. This drawing, it should be saying Xen server instead of VMware server. So VMware is a company which is pretty much rival to the Citrix, but VMware has is offering infrastructure as a service. You could virtualize servers, you could virtualize applications, you could virtualize many of the other products. We're going to be talking in detail. It's just, we're starting. Main thing is that if you have a physical machine, its CPU, RAM, input, output, or IOPS, also for the hard disk, they are being controlled and managed intelligently by the hypervisor. We call this small files or an app, or it's not an app actually, but it's we call it hypervisor that talks between this physical server and the OS and applications that are using this server. So this is another diagram for what the virtualization. Let's go ahead and talk a little about Citrix. Okay, not little. This course is about Citrix. It has a long history. This is just the table of name changes and the additions of all the names they've put there. um, it goes way back, and it used to be called WinFrame, MetaFrame 1. Just like Microsoft has a long history of it used to have Windows 3.1, then then Windows NT, then Windows 2000, then 2003. So every major product has its name changes with lots of new features introduced. So MetaFrame XP, MetaFrame again, then Presentation Server 3. I'm going to be talking about what Citrix really do real soon now. But this is just peek in the history. So Presentation 4, Server 4, I joined. I actually had the experience of doing the Presentation Server 4.5. And then it's XenApp, the new name, and 5, 6, and then 6.5 is what we are doing. Then we're going to be going for XenApp 7 or 7.5 in the end classes, just to check what has changed. But why 6.5 and why not the latest version 7.5? Because the market is still huge amount of companies are really happy with the way XenApp 6.5 is working, but XenApp 6.5 is deployed to huge amount of companies. They are planning to migrate to 7. Some have already Some have already migrated, some have just deployed directly 7.5 or 7. But we're going to be trying to understand the working of 6.5, so we will be easily able to understand 7. Right now, there are many migrations also going on. If you understand the old product and the new product, then you will be able to do the migrations as well. But our main purpose is that we understand this XenApp 6.5, and then we go ahead with the understanding of some of the newest features, and then we could understand, oh, that's how we can upgrade, migrate the XenApp infrastructure. So there's always a demand for migration experts in whatever applications in Windows, Exchange server, SCCM server, VMware environments, and then Citrix environments. So we're just starting with the 6.5. Then hopefully maybe the next Citrix course will be 7 or 7.5. Now it's 7.6 actually, and maybe tomorrow night they would come up with 7.7, or because you can see how many editions are there. Anyway, just kidding. Okay, so then whatever what were the reasons that they changed so many names? Because of the features and editions, because of the OS version supported. Maybe the earliest versions were with Windows 3.1, NT 2000. So all the other services that did change made them change their features as well, and then they came up with the names as well. So definitely this is the way every software or every big product goes through. When there are feature changes, functionality and security features change, they do come up with some new name. So Citrix solutions. Yeah, so on the chat, I'm getting a comment, why most industry use Citrix instead of VMware? So that's a very good question. Exactly my next topic. Why industry use Citrix? So industry is using both Citrix and VMware. I've the way I do jobs, I whenever I do job, I stick to that. Some people do go, they're risk takers, they go to different companies at different times. So when you see their resume, they see you see a lot of companies, long list of companies that they work for, and many of my friends are like that. So I've been asking them, hey, what's the network environment? If it's a medium to large size company, they always say, oh, we have Citrix this version, and VMware that version, and Hyper-V this version. Hyper-V is just starting. People are starting to say that, oh, we have Hyper-V as well, but this Citrix is separate. Some use Citrix instead of. So there's another comment in the chat. Citrix. Some use Citrix instead of VPN connection. Okay. So yes, we're going to be talking about exactly. You're right. Why Citrix is being used, and which area Citrix is a market leader in, and which area VMware is a market leader in. Right. So. Let's go back to the slides. So Citrix solutions are in use at more than 330,000 organizations and by over 100 million users globally. But if you go for VMware or Windows or Google or any of those products, they would also be giving some huge numbers there. So 10 of the 10 largest global banks are using Citrix. 10 of the top 10 worldwide automakers are using Citrix. 10 I know any whichever banks I have friends in, they are saying yes, we have Citrix. If it's a large organization and they don't have Citrix, I will be wondering, what? You don't have Citrix? Why? But I'm going there. That why is Citrix? So 10 of the top 10 global aerospace and defense manufacturers, and there it is. Some of the famous products here. So Zen Server, XenApp, and Zen Desktop. There's a history to this as well. I'm gonna be mentioning that in day 2 or 3 as well, because we're gonna be talking a lot about these topics as well as some intensive labs. So when we were talking about virtualization, and we were talking about VMware. So VMware is offering infrastructure virtualization. So when we talk about infrastructure, what do we know about that? A typical company has what in an infrastructure in a data center? They have switches, routers, they have servers, physical servers. So what if you are able to virtualize all of that and host all of this on a bunch of physical servers? So VMware comes with a rich line of products of for infrastructure virtualization. Citrix is more a market leader in application virtualization. And there are products like they have the hypervisor as well. Hypervisor, we did talk about that. Uh, you know, uh, so hypervisors are, Microsoft has hypervisor, which is called Hyper-V. VMware has hypervisor called ESXi, and Citrix has a hypervisor called Zen Server. We're gonna be going in detail now for these products. Then XenApp is all about application virtualization. I'm gonna be saying that name a lot, of course, because it's of course about XenApp. Application virtualization. What is application virtualization? And but in later slides we are going to that. Then Zen Desktop, which is also instead of one application called, suppose it's Microsoft Word, and you're virtualizing that and the clients can see the icon, instead of that the whole desktop can be also loaded for a client. But we're going to be talking about that. It's a typical diagram here. There's a hypervisor here, Zen server, then there's an operating system, and then user settings and applications are there, or there's a full desktop available for these users. But let's go ahead. These are still bits and pieces. There are more gaps here, so we're gonna be trying to fill those gaps. There is that Zen Desktop, the product of Citrix, centralizes and delivers desktops, so virtual desktops, as a service to users anywhere, reducing desktop total cost of ownership (TCO) up to 40%, and improving data security by revolutionizing desktop lifecycle. What we are saying is, what does a desktop comprise of? When you log in, it's your desktop environment. You have your documents there, you have your favorites there, and you have your pictures and movies. So yeah, so that's what we call the desktop. I have a message here, sorry. So Manzur, did you invite Rahman, Shahid Russell? So he's just messaging, sorry. So thank you for this. Okay, sorry, continue. Let me continue that. So a full desktop. Oh, he's okay. So full desktop is provided. All the icons are provided virtually to the clients on thin client, either on the desktop or on the local machine here in the company or outside the company. Although the diagram itself is showing VMware vSphere or VMware View Manager, I should have had the diagram of Citrix instead of that. Yeah, this is one. Sorry. Okay, but this is being, so VMware offers the desktop virtualization by the name of VMware View. That's the product name. And Citrix offers desktop virtualization by Zen Desktop. But let me just go briefly a little with these products, and then I'm going to draw some diagrams so we could understand how it works. Citrix products. So XenApp. You can see, there's Access, Excel, Outlook, PowerPoint, Word, and then there are 5 different physical servers here, right? So XenApp virtualizes and manages Windows applications in the data center and delivers them as an on-demand service to users anywhere using any device. So let me try to. Okay, thank you. So let me try to give you a brief idea about what is this application virtualization anyway. Um, so I'm just going to open the video, and I'm gonna drag it on the screen here, which is being recorded right now. So I hope everyone is able to see this. And what's so this is our lab which we're gonna build today anyway. But I wanted to show this. So if I copy Control C, and then there is that very sophisticated tool on the planet Earth. Okay, not the paintbrush. So I will introduce it as a very sophisticated tool. So there it is. And if there are multiple servers here, what happens in virtualization is, so suppose there are clients. Let me just drag a client here as well, so I could start chalking them, not choking, chalking. So there's that client here, and if you're not able to see that, just put it on the chat and I'll try to fix it. So what we are doing is, normally what happens if there are 1,000 clients here, suppose there are 1,000 users, and they all need to use MS Office. So in a typical environment, there are 1,000 machines here, and we get to then deploy those. We deploy MS Office to all 1,000 clients, right? And those client machines are, when you install application, the whole MS Office, it's installed on the machines itself. The user logs in, and you can use those applications, and then excuse me, save your data either on a file server through the Z drive, or through roaming profile, or you save it locally on the C drive here if the users are given those computers permanently, or employees, they're dedicated to those users. But there is that long-term maintenance of applications. For this is, I'm talking 1,000 users, right? There could be 50,000 users in the company. There could be a huge amount of users, and the desktop support is always involved in trying to fix all the issues. Either they connect remotely. Oh, my Microsoft Word is not working. Oh, Excel formula is not working. Or this not working. Oh, it's performing really bad. So maybe there's a computer issue. There's a network issue with the computer, or overall you need to replace the image on certain computers every month. There's that maintenance of applications and the support calls related to that. So the concept is that, okay, there are a bunch of servers here, and we install MS Office 2010, suppose, on all these servers. So the trick is, well, not the trick, the procedure is that all 4 servers in a Citrix XenApp environment should be equal hardware, exactly same configuration, good processing power, good memory, good hard disk capacity, and then application of MS Office needs to be made available to 1,000 users. So what you do not install it on these client machines, any of this application. So MS Office is not installed on 1,000 client machines. So what do you do then? You still need the users to use it. So you deploy that application exactly the same way on these 3 servers, and then what you do next is publish the these applications. So you publish MS Word, Excel, PPT, Access, Outlook. So all of those are first installed on the servers. Then there's a procedure that is known as publishing those applications, and then those applications are available. Oh, sorry. Then those applications are published, and then those applications are made available for all the users through a web browser, uh, as what, as icons. So when the user logs in, the user sees icons of MS Office applications. So when the user clicks any of the icon, suppose Microsoft MS Word icon is appearing there, just like if we install MS Office on one machine. So on the desktop the icons could appear, or when you go to start and you go to programs or applications, then you see those. So icons will still appear because we published it in the across the domain. But the main thing is when the user double clicks that application, the application opens just as if the Microsoft Word was installed on this machine. But actually the MS Word has started here. Started. So when I say started here, what I really mean is that the processing, processing, it's wrong spelling, and memory of this server is being used, and the application is being made available through these servers to the clients, and the user is actually using that application as if that application it's not sued being used. Okay, sued is a okay. So the user is using that application exactly as if the application is installed there, while the application never was installed on these 1,000 machines. They are only installed on these servers, they are maintained on these servers. Suppose one server goes down and the application is not available here, so there are other servers that are there to load balance that application, right? So there's another question, should they be domain users? Citrix is deployed over the Microsoft network, but it's also available now for you deploy a Citrix gateway, and then non-domain users can also access the application if they have the link to that application. So there's a URL given, and through that URL. Okay, there's another question. Yeah, so the URL is given over the internet. The user types that URL and connects to the web. Then the user has to be authenticated. Either those credentials are provided to the user that from home or outside the company. If you're not a domain user, you could still put those credentials there, and so the users can access. So domain users as well as non-domain users can use this. Second question in the chat is that where are they going to save the files? So the files will be saved. So the user is using the application on this client machine. There will be a Z drive, or a roaming, when we configure roaming profile, we do offer that drive within the desktop area, and that when the user double clicks that, it opens a connection to a file server. So whatever user is working on can save it on the drive that is shown in under the my computer or this PC, and that is mapped to a file server, and on the file server the user's dedicated folder is available there. That's called, we call it as a roaming profile. So the user can save those files on the file server, and the link for that saving for that folder is provided with each desktop or with each user login environment. So the file saving is available there, or the user can, but if this PC is dedicatedly given to that employee, in many cases the employees get their PCs in their office, and They only use that. They can save it locally as well. Otherwise, if it's a public machine, of course, then with the user environment, there are roaming profiles or the you know a drive letter mapped to a folder on a file server where they save those files, right? Okay, so application virtualization. You have just virtualized MS Office 2010 on these set of servers, and these servers are just sharing the load. If there's any maintenance for those applications required, suppose the server goes down or the server does not go down, server is okay, the one of the application here goes down, but there are applications working on other servers as well. And in large environments, there are 10 servers in a farm. I've just created 3 servers, right? There are 10 servers or 20 servers in a farm. I'm talking about farm is that logical container, just like we have domain in Windows. In Citrix, a collection of servers working together to load balance those applications that are installed. So they are all added to a farm. Uh, so we're gonna be creating the whole environment from the scratch. In fact, I did ask everyone to install that Windows 2012. I'm sorry about that, but I'm so used to putting Windows 2012 there that I should have just revisited that because we need Windows 2008 R2 there. Although the DC could be Windows 2012 DC, but the rest of the systems need to be Windows 2008 for which for this version Citrix 6.5 version. When we go to Citrix 7 for overview, then we're going to be using the Windows 2012 as well. So those machines you've created are not gone in vain. We will be using that at the end. Okay, there's another comment. If install one copy application on server, can multi-user use it at the same time? Exactly, that's the specialty. So there's a question on the chat. Uh, so there is that application here. Can multiple user? So suppose there are 3 servers here and 1,000 users here. So the it will be a load balanced set. They will all be doing a load balance. There are many devices there to load balance it for them, or they have their own internal load balancing also available, where if first connection is connected here to the MS Office, second connection, if it is round robin, in Windows there's a concept of round robin where first connection goes there, second connection to the second server, third connection to the third server, then fourth connection to the first, fifth connection to the second, and goes on. So yes, multiple users can connect to the same application at the same time on the server, because one server is taking huge amount of connections at any given time. How does the session work? How do we handle those session restrictions? That's all we're going to be discussing after we create our environment, and we're going to be testing many of the concepts that we are talking about here. But today is still the brief introduction day, and then we go in depth for every concept. But still, we need to understand some of the major concepts here. Main thing about application virtualization, we have just discussed that you don't have to install it on the computers, but you have to go and install it on the servers, and the server memory and processing will be utilized here. And one server can take 20, 30, 40, 80, 100, 200 connections. Depends on some of the on the high end capabilities of the server, as well as how many servers we have here. So we're going to talk about the design as well. This is application virtualization. Any question about the basics of application virtualization? You don't get to install it on every PC. You install it on certain servers, but the icons of the applications are published to all the users' desktops. So when they open the desktop and open the browser, they can just communicate. They can open that MS Word, while that MS Word is actually open here, and everything else is traveling on the network. The keyboard clicks, and everything, clipboard mapping, everything is working. So we're going to be talking about in detail about that process as well. There's another comment. Licensing criteria is different from MS. We're going to be talking about licensing in detail as well. The day 2 and day 3 are dedicated to how the whole environment is working. Licensing criteria is definitely different. This Zen app is installed on uh, on top of the Windows. So we will be installing. We need Windows environment, and especially uh, it will be using the Microsoft services, which were known as terminal services before. Now they are known as remote desktop services. Excuse me. So in many of the excuse me. So in many of the courses of MCSA, when I teach, we uh, we also do this remote desktop services. What is remote desktop services? It's Microsoft's version of, it also offers the application virtualization, but on a very small and limited scale. And this is the free solution by Microsoft, where you can do the same thing, install applications on the farm, and then send the icons to the desktop, and they can use it, and the servers processing and memory will be used. So Microsoft has created the remote desktop services as well. On top of remote desktop services, XenApp works with huge amount of new features and extended capabilities of all types. So when you are deploying XenApp in a production environment, you will be talking to Microsoft for the calls, client access licenses of remote desktop services, as well as the client access licenses of XenApp as well, right? So both types of licenses you will be talking about when you go to the production environment and start deploying XenApp. So Microsoft side, as well as, so we're going to be talking about what type of licenses are required in detail later. I just wanted to talk about briefly what is application virtualization. Let's go ahead with the slide. As well as, guys, we need to also work on uh, our lab. I intend to start creating the lab today, or at least we will be doing whatever I'm doing. The session is being recorded, so you will have this recorded session till the next class. So you will be able to follow with what basic lab we have to create, because it's all going to be done side by side. Excuse me. So XenApp virtualizes and manages Windows applications in the data center and delivers them as an on-demand service to users anywhere using any device. So that's on tablets, on your cell phones, laptops, so any device. That's the specialty, right? So, well, we'll try to at least use our tablets or devices as well. Let's see if we are able to do it on the LAN and what kind of licenses we need for that. Then this is the Zen server, the hypervisor, and till now in every drawing I was showing VMware ESXi server, which was the hypervisor from VMware. This is the Citrix Zen server. So this is going to talk to the hardware for all the OSs and applications above. So Citrix has its own hypervisor, and this is the screen when we get to install. We're going to be installing in the end Citrix Zen server as well, just to get to know, oh, that's how Zen server works. Okay. So we would know that how Hyper-V works. We already know that, I hope most of us, or many of us. And ESXi from VMware, which is also very famous. And then this is Zen server. This is also free. you could just download and deploy it whenever. So I'm gonna show you how to install, deploy, and configure it basically as well. Although this is not part of the course. This is just for, I plan it to be a job oriented course, so you do get to, know all the stuff related to, or famous stuff related to Citrix. So there's a question in the chat. Today we will be installing Zen server. Yes, so I'm gonna create the basic environment, install the domain, and then install the XenApp servers, and going to discuss all about XenApp as well. So that's why I want to drag it further now. So there's that other product called NetScaler by Citrix, and it makes web applications run 5 times better, improving application availability, increasing security, and substantially lowering web application delivery total cost of ownership, or TCO. So Citrix NetScaler is a product that makes web applications run faster, securely, and the users accessing from outside the network or from inside can access it very fast. It also serves as a VPN gateway, the NetScaler. So as one of the students here said, yes, we're using, instead of VPN, we are using Citrix to access all the applications. Exactly, that is an environment in many companies. You're right. You're using it as well. So we're gonna try to know more about NetScaler as well, how we deploy it or talk about it, and I will try to know if we can also make it possible to deploy here. If there's a software version, let's try to go ahead. But NetScaler is there, right? Then Citrix XenApp job market. Are there jobs in the market for Citrix XenApp? Well, so I'm gonna send you this PDF and go ahead. So if I click Indeed.com selection only and drag this screen here, so there is a list of all the Citrix jobs here, and all the jobs, and then it goes 1 2 3 4 5, and there XenApp, Zen Desktop, there's XenApp, Hyper-V, Citrix, a combination of XenApp. These are 4 days ago job by DentaQuest, HCI, HMS. They're all top recruiters here, and you will see Citrix XenApp everywhere. 6 7 web interface, so Zen Desktop. So huge job environment, sorry, job requirement in many of those famous job hunting sites. So let me just close that, and the monster.ca or monster.com, the second the other one where normally you get short calls from there. Oops. Okay, it's yeah, it's also open. So let me just drag it there. So Citrix job overview, system administrator, Citrix administrator. There's huge amount of jobs for Citrix. If you keep going down and down, and then there's 1 2 3 4 5 6 all the pages, go ahead and check what kind of Citrix skills they require. And XenApp is one of them. You will find XenApp, Zen Desktop, Zen Desktop everywhere. It's that important. So they need separate administrator, or they need a mix of, Windows as well, VMware as well, Citrix as well. You must know Citrix as well. So you must know VMware, and they expect you to be Superman, right? That's how the job market is. These two links will just tell you a great deal about this. So this is our lab that we are going to work on. Citrix DC, the first one. I'm going to quickly install the domain on that with the domain name as citrixdomain.local. Then I'm going to quickly install, not quickly, then we're going to be talking about how to install XenApp on servers and what our strategy should be for now in our limited environment. So the gateway address is, so there's a question here, what is the gateway address? So it's 192.168.200.50. So yeah, I did put all the configuration there, and if I drag that, I think I did not put the gateway, sorry about that. So yeah, because I am planning. So this is what I sent there. This link here I just added and sent you all. Please download this Citrix XenApp 6.5 from the Dropbox link I have uploaded on. And download all these applications. I have also uploaded that Windows Server 2008 R2 ISO. This is also the Dropbox link from where you can download. 2012 environment you did create. Sorry about that. You will be using it in the end for XenApp7.x for a few of the time. We're going to be doing that too. Then you must have created some accounts on mycitrix.com. VMware.com, I wanted you to just download the VMware Workstation version, but this is not the courses for Citrix. And yes, the gateway I haven't mentioned there, but now I'm just going to drag it outside, and this here drawing is from actually. Let me just drag the actual one here. This is where I'm just going to let me just mention here. So 255.255.255.0, and then 192.168.200.50, and of course our DNS would be 192.168.200.1. So then it goes on for every other computer as well, with just the change of IP addresses. And so I'm just going to be building the screenshots, or not screenshots, these drawings as well, so you could see where we are at now. And there's that client, but we can just make it later as well with Windows 8.1. If you already have it, and most of us have it created, yes, we're gonna still use that. In my environment, every machine is Windows 2008 now. Because for the record of for video, I have to have the complete environment the way Citrix has recommended. And quickly I will before we go ahead with further concepts, I need to create that environment as well. Right now, how it looks like is this in my case, with complete IP addresses, but right now they're all standalone servers, right? So I intended to create the whole environment today, so you could follow in before the next class and try to recreate that environment at your home. I would recommend that you have two environments created, so 3 machines for the class if you're following with me here, and I would recommend that you do follow with me. And then to repeat that lab, create it as a second environment as well, with just a little different names than this and a little different IP addresses than this, and then repeat the whole lab there as well, right? This is my current lab. If I try to show you my actual environment now on the VMware Workstation, this is it. And these are the 3 machines that we will be working on. I will be working on. And let me just quickly log in from on my first machine, because I wanted to show you from the scratch. I could have done most of the work here and just install XenApp, but there are users who are not very much used to the way we do the labs, and there are others who already know how we create the labs because of the Windows MCSA classes. So I'm just going to, so right now what it is just a standalone server, a Windows 2008 R2, and the ISO file I've already uploaded. So what you can do is you can create that template. There's that video that I have already, so let me drag that here. That video, this video shows how to create a template machine for 2012. Just follow the same steps, but it will only be 2008 instead, right? This one. So, and all the configurations have to be, you just have to see the icons where they are. That's the only thing, and it's not that different, but you get to know the 2008 as well, because so many environments still have 2008 and 2012 mix. So you get to install 2012, now you get to install 2008. Okay, so I'm just gonna drag it out here, and this is our VMware workstation environment with 3 machines. They are all standalone right now, and now I'm just going to. This is the icon for making it full screen. So the configuration here is that I've already renamed it Citrix DC, and I've already given the IP address of 200.1. So let me just double check the IP address here just for the record of the video. When I click this, I have 2 network cards here, one for internet connection. So if I right click here and settings, we can just show that there's one network adapter here. Okay, I would personally, for the local network, I will go for VMnet 14. You can select any of the network there, you know. So my all 3 machines for our local network communication, they would be on VMnet 14. I will put them all on VMnet 14. I can choose VMnet 17 or 16 as well. It's just that, you know, you could just go ahead with anyone. So custom specific. We can also use host only. There's no problem. We can also use NAT. No problem. These 3 machines should be communicating with each other, right? There's another comment. Why are we not using Citrix hypervisor? So Citrix hypervisor, first of all, when we use hypervisor, we have to either format our desktop or laptop. It's not like, you know, it's going to dual boot, or even if it does, if we do manage to dual boot that, we won't have, I won't have this environment to show and present as well. And if we do try to give the Citrix hypervisor, if we do try to create that environment, so what I will have to do is create, install the Xen server here as a virtual machine inside this VMware workstation. I have to do that. And so my VMware workstation is running on my laptop OS, so that is taking memory. And then VMware workstation, inside VMware workstation, I will have to install Xen server instead. In fact, I have installed it already. This is the Xen server here. It is just like all other those machines which are there. If I start this Xen server, then, well, it's going to take its little time, and then inside the Xen server, I will have to install these machines. So that's going to really require lots of memory and processing, and those machines. And still, if we install these machines inside this Xen server, then inside these virtual machines we have to install XenApp server excuse me, and then inside this XenApp server we will be also deploying all the applications. So it's not feasible. It's going to be dead slow. I have a very good laptop. I mean, well, Manzur's laptop is much better now. But I have W530 with 24 GB RAM and SSD hard disk, so pretty much pretty speedy. But when we go for Xen server or a hypervisor inside already VMware workstation, this is called nested virtualization. It's not going to be feasible. It's going to be very, very slow, and we won't be able to do labs independently. So we are using this hypervisor, which is, this is also called hypervisor 2. This is hypervisor 1, or the other way around. I always mix that up. But there is, let me just show you one more thing here. There is a hypervisor that requires an OS, and then there is a hypervisor. So this is operating system Windows, and then there is VMware workstation, and then there are virtual machines, and then inside virtual machines OS, and then the XenApp and all the apps to publish. Already our processor and memory is, really involved. So yeah, then there's another comment in the chat. So in corporate environment, if we need Citrix, then it's better to go with Citrix hypervisor or VMware hypervisor. So in corporate environment, Citrix needs Windows platform. In our case, we have a huge VMware environment. We have lots of virtual machines, and they are very high end. In corporate environment, they have high end physical servers. So what we have done is we have actually this. So VMware hypervisor. I have heard this is because VMware hypervisor is any VMware product is still top in the market in terms of stability, in terms of its what we can say maturity. So VMware hypervisor, then there are VMs inside, then there are OS, and on the OS we have the XenApp installed, and there are 4 or 5 servers there, virtual servers, and then all the apps to publish. So we have, and I've heard others as well, big environments or banks or government, they go for mainly VMware. The smaller companies, medium-sized companies, they are going for Hyper-V as well because it saves them a lot of cost. So instead of VMware hypervisor, there is the Microsoft Hyper-V. Uh, so Zen server is free. Zen server is also catching market, but it's not as reliable and stable. The market considers that as the VMware hypervisor is reliable and stable. So that's why you will see lots of XenApp deployed on VMware hypervisor, or at least the infrastructure is VMware below. Then OS has to be Microsoft, so Windows, and then XenApp can be deployed there. Because of the high-end machines, it's always okay. You can have as many virtual servers there. If it's really heavy applications, then we go for just simple physical server. And is in that case, if there are many heavy applications deployed on XenApp, then you go for this one that you just deploy directly on the physical server and OS, and on the OS you deploy XenApp server and then apps to publish. That goes really fast, right? So yeah, in our environment it's this hypervisor, and wherever I've heard, because VMware is leader in infrastructure virtualization. So otherwise, Zen server is also they are working, and maybe they're not marketing as good as VMware, or VMware has much bigger market share. But when it comes to application virtualization, there's a tough competition, and in fact, Citrix is much preferred in application virtualization than the VMware Horizon. VMware has a product called Horizon, and for desktop virtualization, it's the VMware View. But yeah, main thing is this. So let's go back. If there are any questions, you can put it on the chat. So this is the Zen server. Yeah, but I already installed that. But I still need to maintain some processing and memory for this task. So I'm just gonna shut it down for now. But we're gonna be installing it later and trying to know just for the knowledge, right? This is not part of that course. Okay. So there are 2 network adapters we have here. One is for internet. Whenever I need internet, I will use that. For now, I'm just disabling it. And this network adapter is actually, if I go to settings of this virtual machine here, this network adapter could be on NAT to get the internet, or on the bridge to be on the physical network of our homes or offices, just to get internet. This network adapter is just to get internet whenever we need it. Otherwise, we can disable it, right? So at certain times, whenever I need to download from within, I will just put it on enable. It would get me the internet right away. The local, this adapter, I've renamed it as local. So it's always good practice to name the adapters according to their functionality you're wanting them to do. So local and internet, I will be naming all the network adapters this way on all the machines. So but mainly we need one network adapter right now. So this is the first machine, and what I intend to do here, let me draw that here. So here I want, on this machine, I'm right now on Citrix DC. I will be installing quickly Active Directory and DNS DHCP, quickly DNS DHCP later. But normally, even if you don't install DHCP, it's okay, but let's just install it, and then later, well, for now I'm gonna do this, and these guys will be, the other 2 machines will be they are already Windows member servers, so they will be member servers for our domain. So I'm just going to, and the domain name is Citrix domain.local. So once this environment is up and running, then I'm gonna add the XenApp roles one by one here, just to, and we're gonna talk about why we are doing what we are doing. Right now, the basic Microsoft environment I'm creating, so it could be from scratch, the whole thing recorded on the video, so there would be, very less questions, and oh, what do I do now? So I'm just gonna go back to the first server, which is Citrix DC, according to this diagram, Citrix DC here. And any questions there, let me know. And I'm just gonna drag it out now and go to this environment. So I already have, I'm checking the configure networking adapter. Guys, I'm gonna be going a little quick here because we are supposed to know this already. But for the record of the video, I'm just creating that. So there is this network settings I have done. If I go to properties and go to v4, 201, 250 is the gateway, one is the DC, and the DNS prefer, of course, where I intend to install the DNS role. It will be this, right? Yeah, there's a question in the chat. So yes, you could put the question while I do that. So I'm just going to install, since I have the IP and name there, I'm just going to deploy the Active Directory. So the quick way is dcpromo, dcpromo. We cannot do that in 2012, we can only do that in 2008. Enter. It's going to install the Active Directory. So there's a question there, how to refresh in Windows 2008, please show using okay, yeah, refresh. Refresh. So click anywhere here and press F5. Click anywhere on the refresh screen, and or right click. Oops. Right click and refresh. Okay, no problem. You can ask any questions. So Active Directory is being installed here. While it is being installed, I can, okay, well, it was fast. So Active Directory wizard has started. I'll just click next here. The warnings here, yeah, it's not going to be compatible with NT4. Next, there's no existing forest, so I'm just going to create a new domain in a new forest of Windows environment. So it's Citrix domain.local. If there are any quick questions here, if they're not of basic nature, you could ask. Otherwise, we can have separate team viewer sessions according to our availability during the week. If you're stuck anywhere, you can contact me or Manzar, so we could remotely connect to your machine and get your network up and running. But this video is there, you should follow that as well. So Citrix domain.local. Next. So during the week you can ask for any help. You can send screenshots of whatever error you're getting to the Google group, and we can all try to resolve for you. Okay, so there's that forest functional level. I'll just go for the 2008 R2 direct because we are installing this. Then click next here, and DNS is going to install. Yes, we need DNS here as well. Press yes. It's looking for a DNS, but we are in the process of installing that, right? So this is the path where it's going to install Active Directory. Next, this is for directory sources restore mode. Countless times I've done that. Okay, so next, I should be able to do all this with eyes closed, but I still have to see where to click the mouse, right? Okay, anyway, so this is a summary for installing an Active Directory. You need any support during the week, wherever you're stuck, let us know, and have your TeamViewer installed, free version of TeamViewer installed, and we can connect according to our availability. SMS me, you can SMS me as well. My number is on my email address signature. So I just clicked reboot on completion. So when it reboots, when it completes, it's gonna reboot. Then while this is going on, I'm going to check according to the diagram the other two servers. The other two servers are right now standalone servers with the IP address. The name is Citrix MAM01 and the IP address is 202 and complete copy paste. 203. here, and yep. So I'm just gonna double check these names and IP addresses, and I'm gonna wait until this DC comes back. Okay, it's restarting in the background. So once it is installed, the DC, I'm going to join these two servers to the domain, uh, and let me, while it is restarting, I'm gonna double check the name and IP. So for Citrix MEM01, this is the name, and for networking, I still have local and internet. So local, I'm gonna go and go to properties, go to v4. There you go, on 200.2, 200.50, 200.1. Okay, so far so good. These two will be our Citrix load balancers. So I'm gonna be talking all about what do I mean by this and that, all the terminology. Then, but if we get our basic lab, so yeah, there's a comment in the chat. Why not Win Server 2012 R2? So the problem is that why I wrote there on the forum was my mistake, because I'm so used to Windows 2012 now in 2008, so it's been some time, so I forgot to mention that. But why not 2012? Because Citrix XenApp 6.5 is not supported with 2012 by Citrix people themselves. The company Citrix says that, hey, we don't support installation of 6.5 with 2012. So even if we do get to install Citrix 6.5 on 2012 R2 somehow, although there will be so many errors, if there are some major problems or issues or errors or bugs come, there is no support by available, or there are no bug fixes available by the Citrix. So that's why we're gonna go a little one version back in order to learn the major concepts of Citrix. Then we're gonna go for Citrix 7 or 7.6, which can be installed on 2012. But by that time, we would have learned the major concepts of the Citrix environment. So 7 or 7.5 will be very easy to, or at least you will understand right away. Oh, this is the difference. This is the difference. Okay, let's go ahead. So yeah, the basic concepts. Okay, so on the third machine, it's logged in, so MEM02 and IP address 203, which is okay. And I'm gonna go back to the Citrix DC, because let's quickly create that environment. So Active Directory is installed there, and I'm going to quickly join these two virtual servers to this domain controller. So I'm just gonna check one thing. If the firewall is not on, if I click the firewall in production environment, the firewalls are on, and in some companies they are off because of the other security they have in the parameter, and some security software they have per machine, end-to-end security by McAfee and other products, encryption of hard disk. So they normally then don't deploy firewall per server. Okay, so for the lab, we're just going to not go for adding exceptions. Instead, we're gonna just put it on this. So I'm just going to turn off the firewall now. Okay, domain controller is ready. Active Directory is installed. Let's go ahead with Active Directory is there. So I'm just gonna go to the second machine and quickly join both of them to the domain. How to join? I already have correct IP addresses. I'm just going to go to computer and go to Citrix MEM, computer name change here, and then go to domain and simply put Citrix domain, the prefix, not the .local. And here the full domain name has to be put to join the domain. Just when we're logging in, then we can use the prefix. So I'm just pressing OK here, hoping that it's gonna communicate. But remember, I put this on first machine on, I think, VMnet 14. Let me check if other machine is on VMnet 14. I don't think it is. Oh, it's on NAT. So VMnet 14. I'm just showing it for the record of the video that you can also separate your network actually. So settings, or segment your network. See, you have VMnet 14. Third one is okay. Second one was not okay. If I press OK again, yeah, there you go. So administrator and enter. It should join. Okay, join. Let's go ahead. Uh, and then as soon as they join, then we're going to discuss how we are going to be installing XenApp on these, and what are the other major concepts we need to know. So close, restart. First one, join to the domain. Second one, I'm going there and going to provide computer name and domain. Let me know if I'm going fast so I could go faster. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just gonna a bit slow down, right? Or repeat that. So sorry, there's another comment here. Do we need second NIC on each machine? No, we don't. So second NIC is just for whenever we need internet. So we could still have just one NIC, and we can remove the IP address, and it will connect to our local DSL. Grab the IP address from the local DSL. Then when we have used up internet, we can just go back to our static IP. But you can see the work there, right? That you have to put the static IP again, remove static IP again. So there's a second NIC there which is always disabled, and it is on NAT in the VMware workstation setting. And whenever we need internet only then we enable it. At once we get internet, when we don't need internet, we just disable it. Yeah, so we don't need, you could install and put it disabled just for internet, right? So yeah, Citrix domain dot local, enter administrator, and there you go. Welcome to the domain. Let's go. And as soon as it, so the second one has come back, so I'm just gonna log in from there. This is the local machine name, not the domain name, so do not do that mistake of logging in from there. This is going to log on locally, and your XenApp installation will also be affected by that. So always click switch user and make sure your domain name is written there, the prefix, because it's so Citrix domain backslash administrator. Okay, now I'm logging into the domain. If you miss that and log in locally, your XenApp installation will be giving you a lot of errors. Okay, press OK, restart the third machine. And so DC is okay, mem is okay, and mem1 is okay. mem2 we're just trying. So there's another comment there, and this for VMware workstation only for our environment. Yeah, this is all for our VMware workstation environment only. Yeah. So I just want to make every concept work in this lab, so the best configuration that we could come to, install all the labs or work all the labs without getting any errors. This is what I'm trying to do. So now we have our Active Directory environment. Okay, so guys, there will be yeah, domain. Okay, so my domain name is showing as normal. Oh, sorry. So you had a comment there. Yeah, so domain name will be exactly Citrix domain.local, or you could just go for my domain.local as well, right, Shahid? And guys, there will be a break at 10-minute break at 8:50 till 9 o'clock. So at 9 o'clock we could try, but it's not yet 8:50. So but it's majority's authority. Whoever wants a break, 10-minute break at any given time, let us know. Let me know. So yeah, so you have to, if you did not, there's another comment in the chat. I didn't put Citrix domain backslash admin. So if you just logged in, then log off again and click switch user and then go for Citrix domain. But this is for the second and third computer, not for the first computer, right? First computer you can just go ahead because there is no local administrator there. On second and third computer there are local administrators as well as domain administrators, right? So just try to log in from domain administrator and avoid that. So I'm gonna do that again for the third machine. This is the name of my server, Citrix mem2, and it's not the name of my domain, and it's the administrator. So it's pretty tempting to just go ahead, hey, administrator is written there, but we are logging in locally, not from the domain, right? So click switch user here, other user. Make sure you put the Citrix domain name prefix there, and then type administrator, and then go for domain login, right? Okay, so guys, the Active Directory domain environment is ready. What is the plan? The plan is, if I go back to this diagram, this is only the Microsoft environment. So the plan now is to get, oops, the whole thing changes, right? That's not fair. Okay, I'll just write it and then change the color for that. So I'm going to be deploying, so first, what XenApp products are we deploying? So let's let me write here. We're going to be deploying, okay, in fact, this would be better in the most sophisticated tool of all times, paintbrush. So okay, so here first we will be deploying these roles of the XenApp server, and we're going to be talking about those roles as well. But so on DC, we're gonna have XenApp license server. So even for evaluation installation of application, wow, so many shunts. So evaluation, this is the eval, for 90 days. So XenApp license server on the DC we're going to be installing, because I don't want to have a license server separate fourth machine. So at least our 3 machines could have the proper memory and processing to do all the other bigger labs. So on DC we're going to be installing XenApp, but the license portion of the XenApp, right? And I'm going to do that, so you're going to know how to put that there. Then on MEM01, we're going to be deploying the XenApp application itself, and the XenApp server itself, and the web interface, which we're going to be talking about. We're just going to select these 2 roles for MEM01, and on MEM02 we're going to be deploying XenApp server only. So these are the minimum required roles. We're going to be adding more roles later. What are the roles there? Are there lots of roles there or not? So we're going to be discussing that as well during our lab. So these are the 3 for all these 3 machines. Basically we just need, let me drag that link here again. If you I'm sure everyone must have downloaded that. All we need is this Dropbox link to download. If you have downloaded the XenApp ISO, for all these 3 machines we're going to be attaching the ISO of XenApp to the CD-ROMs. So yeah, there's another comment here. So at a time, how many VMs we need? So right now we just need 3 VMs. And because one is DC plus plus the license server, the second and third ones are needed for load balancing the environment, and to create the form. Minimum we need 2 Citrix servers. So it cannot be just 2 machines, it has to be total of 3 machines. So guys, I would still recommend, if you have chosen IT as your career, you have to make investment on your desktops or laptops. Desktop upgrade is always easier. You have at home desktops already. Just increase its RAM and try to put the SSD hard disk, so you could get some speed there. But for Citrix environment, even from the start, we have three machines. This is three machines, right? In the other class, which is VMware going on right now, we have five machines at the same time working right now, which I reduced to four machines. But I'm still working on five machines on VMware. So that's also a big lab and lots of intensive, labs we're doing there. So this is as minimum as I can go right now for three virtual machines, right? So try to upgrade your hardware, because this is, if this is your field, then all the other labs, SCCM, Exchange, you name it, and they need a lot of processor and memory. And you need to create all the environments in your desktop or laptops, right? So please increase your hardware capacity. Okay, and contact us, Amir Wanzer, for what kind of hardware you can upgrade to and what is your current hardware. So we can tell you what is the best way to go ahead. Okay, so right now this is the plan. As XenApp license server, we're gonna be putting the CDs, the ISO on the DVD. We're gonna map the ISO of a XenApp server to with the DVD of these three machines. But before that, there is .NET 3.5 is also needed, and IIS role is also needed to be installed. But let's start the installation. Let's try to first connect the XenApp ISO to the DVD ROMs of these three machines, and then I'm going to show you how to go ahead. So there's a other comment in the chat, our MEM01 and MEM02 server cluster. So they will be part of the farm that we will be creating in the second class. Even today, I think we're going to be creating the farm, but we're going to be understanding each and every option, or majority of the options there for the farm on the second class when we go a bit more in depth. Right now, it's still going to be, but definitely they do work together. They are not called cluster, and we will not be using the Microsoft clustering feature here for these two to work together. So it will be the Zen or Citrix environment we're going to be doing, but I'm just trying to concentrate as well on getting the lab up, and then all the concepts will be also filled up. Right now, just the software deployment over this environment, I can show you step by step. So then during that deployment, I'm going to be talking about more concepts here. But if I go with some of the other concepts quickly here, then there's that basic administration. Okay, so what is XenApp? We already talked about that. XenApp is an on-demand application delivery solution. So it's an application delivery solution that enables any application to be virtualized, centralized, and managed in the data center. We know that. There are three versions. During the installation, three editions will be coming there: Advanced, Enterprise, Platinum. The lowest one with least features is Advanced. Then the Enterprise has more features. Then Platinum has all the features. And this is the Citrix documentation link where all the 6.5 related documentation you can find. I'm going to send you that as a PDF, so you will have all those links. This is the table for XenApp features by edition: Advanced, Enterprise, Platinum. For now, Ali, not, but we're going to be going to that in day 2 and day 3. Oh, okay. So guys, is this a break time? There is that question raised, and it's 8:38. So at 8:50 we will have a break. So 8:50 till 9 o'clock, because the class goes till 10, right? So at 8:50, 10-minute break will be there. Okay. So XenApp features by edition. So these are huge amount of features. If we go one by one, it's gonna take forever. but we're going to be going slow, and we're going to be trying to make sure that basic concepts are clear. Then we're going to be touching many of those features throughout our course one by one as building blocks get up, and we get to know most of the concepts perfectly. So this is just an overview of all the features available for which edition, but you can see it later in the PDF. So XenApp architecture, primary XenApp architecture consists of XenApp servers. We are going to be deploying the XenApp servers. There will be, all three machines will have certain role of a XenApp server deployed, and web interface servers, yes, those that there will be an explanation coming in the next slides. But data collector, data store, which is database, license server, and worker groups. So today we're going to be deploying XenApp server, web interface, data collector will automatically be deployed, database will be automatically deployed, license server will have to be deployed if we want to really even basically deploy XenApp. Worker groups is a concept where you collect 3 or 4 servers with the same type of configuration, and then you can create separate groups just to make some configuration changes simultaneously on all the servers within one worker group. So yeah, we're going to be talking in detail of all those major concepts. XenApp architecture is, so there's the data store, database here. There are 2 XenApp servers. We have 2 XenApp servers. Data collector is going to let the servers communicate all the information that they require about the infrastructure. So this server requires information about the infrastructure and what's going on the other side of the XenApp servers. So data collector collects the information and let the servers communicate with each other. License server takes care of the license. Databases, so the database of course stores all the information of the form. Zone, I'm just going a bit brief here. Zone is just like in Microsoft environment we have sites. So zone is geographically separate locations. A campus where, or a data center where a collection of servers are there will be called one zone. So one zone could be a data center in downtown, the other zone could be the data center in Hamilton, third data center is on so physical area would be called zone where all the form is located. And then web interface server is trying to provide application links to the client, so they will see all the icons in the browser. So that's why there's a web interface server which gets automatically installed. Well, automatically we select that option there, and we're going to select today. So this is just a basic major components of XenApp architecture that we will be deploying. Citrix form. A form is a logical group of XenApp server that can be managed as a single entity. So just like we just created a domain, then we join 2 servers to the domain, right? Now they're part of the domain in Microsoft environment. So in the form, there will be 2 servers that will be part of that form, and collectively from one dashboard, we're going to be configuring, doing some configurations on those 2 servers together, or 10 servers, or 100 servers, So it depends on the environment. So single and multiple form environments, there are, in single form environments, all XenApp servers use the same data store or one database or same type of database that all servers in one form talk to. Servers can be grouped into a single zone or multiple zones. So I just told you what zone, that they are physical sites. Applications can be load balanced across servers in a form. In one form there are 10 servers, suppose we have just 2 servers. So we will be installing MS Office 2010 on both of them, suppose. So they will be load balanced. So 10 users connecting to first server for MS Office, then the next 10 users will be connecting to the other server. So not all users will be just putting the load on one server. So they will be load balanced. In multiple form environments, each form has its own data store. So yeah, our form will have our own database. It will be the Express edition for now because we have a small environment. Applications can be load balanced across servers in form. Okay, but not across multiple forms. That we're going to be talking when we create our bigger environment. So applications can be load balanced across servers in a form, in one form, but not multiple forms. Okay, this is the data store. I mean, it's just in VMware also they call it data store. In Citrix also they call it data store, the database, right? So the data store database maintains farm data. So what does the data store include anyway? Farm configuration information, published applications. So we deployed MS Office, Adobe Acrobat, okay, or any other Microsoft application. Server configurations. We're gonna be doing all the configuration now. So everything will be stored here in data store. Management security, printer configurations. That's gonna be toughy, but we're gonna try to have that configuration done. License server name and port. So any kind of configuration related and application related information will be stored in the data store and will be accessed by both servers. Okay, these are the editions supported by XenApp 6.5. 7 supports higher versions as well. So 2012 versions of SQL for XenApp 7, but for now these are the 2008 and 5s of SQL servers, and Oracle R2 as well, Enterprise Edition. Then there is a concept of local host cache. In case XenApp server may lose connection with its data store or database, so it keeps some information in local host cache. So a server maintains some of the information locally. If the connection between a server and the data store is not available, right? So it locally caches some of the information. This is just a brief, definition for that. All the servers in the form and their basic information. So this type of information. So if the servers are disconnected with the database from where they are getting all the information, they will store some information locally as well. That's the concept of local host cache. And if we go ahead, there are some other major concepts. So IMA, or independent management architecture, server to server communication is done through that. So servers talk to each other through this protocol, right? If we go in detail in depth, so day 2, when we have our lab nearly ready, we're going to be going back and talking more concepts with more diagrams and drawings. So I'm just going briefly that server to server communication is done by IMA, provides a centralized framework used by administrative tools, delivers subsystems that collectively provide. So main thing, server to server communication by IMA protocol, right? That's why I just highlighted that, so we could also work on the lab as well. So then the main attraction of Citrix XenApp product is this ICA, Independent Computing Architecture. What does it do? A presentation layer protocol in an OSI model. Okay, a very thin protocol. The main specialty of, or the success of XenApp, why is it a market leader in application virtualization? Why is it that? Because of this. So Citrix, if you're able to let me just quickly create that here. Yeah, it's already here. So if there is a client, oops, let me drag that. So if there's a client here and those people, so these users are on WAN, suppose, wide area network. Over the internet, they're accessing the applications. So this ICA protocol actually provides those applications, and the performance is always very, acceptable, very good, unless there's some special disruption going on. Otherwise, this is a thin protocol that manages to give the user that performance which the user normally experiences in a LAN environment, right? So this is the specialty of this ICA protocol that Citrix has. And so the application experience of Citrix hosted applications is always very good. That's why it's a market leader in application virtualization, right? And why is it? Because of this protocol called ICA, Independent Computing Architecture, a very thin protocol. It sends across the LAN or WAN the screen updates, the keyboard and mouse feedback. So you're remotely operating an application, and you see that experience very good or acceptable over the WAN while you're sitting in the house. And when you go in the office, you see the same acceptable performance of the app. So this is the specialty of this very thin protocol. Peripheral support, printer, scanner, USB, everything is over the network provided to you through application virtualization. You are about to print that Microsoft Word document, which is already virtualized and is actually running on a faraway server. So you're able to use all those options there, even over the WAN. So it is WAN optimized, print, file transfer, improve performance. So it's ICA port used. This is for the firewall administrators that they should open this 4094 port. This ICA is the main protocol that gets the more best performance over very bad networks. The users still see that it's acceptable still, the application is performing acceptably. And IMA is a protocol that is responsible for server to server communication. We're going to go in depth for all these. The lack of time is really doing, that's why we will have the second class as well, dedicated to just getting this up and running, while we have all the time to talk about the concepts. There is more detail about this ICA. I'm going to send you the PDF, but we're going to be talking in detail as well. This is the packet structure of this ICA, that it takes all this traffic within the packet over the TCP. So all the virtual channels for different type of traffic are, so there's that printing data that its ICA packet is taking. There's that video, keyboard, mouse clicks that is taking back and forth from the client machine to the Xen server. Then the clipboard mapping, whatever you saved on the clipboard, when you press Control C, it copies that thing on the data on the clipboard, picture or data. Drive mapping, audio. So this protocol provides all these services over even bad performing networks with acceptable performance. So that's a specialty of the XenApp application virtualization. And this is the diagram that shows how the TCP or how the ICA packet or really takes all that kind of data through virtual channels. This is ICA stack again, the inner workings of that, protocol drivers, transport driver. This is just in depth into how ICA really works, or why is it such a big deal that the application performance is so good. Then there is that data collector. So major concepts before upcoming break. Oh, seriously, it's already 52. Guys. Okay, there are some guys who are already ahead. So yes, it's, oh sorry, it's 2008 R2. Sorry, I thought you were installing XenApp. So yeah, it's enterprise. Thank you. There are some more concepts here, data collector, but let's have a break. We can have a 10-minute break now. So starting from now, which is 8:53. So then I'm gonna be doing some XenApp deployment as well, and we're gonna talk about some more concepts and XenApp. We're gonna continue this on the second class as well, so we could get our lab perfectly up and running, and you should repeat those as well. Right now, let's have a 10-minute break. So I have written it in the chat as well. We are having a 10-minute break here, and after that we meet again. So right after 10 minutes, I'm at 9:04. I'm just gonna start the deployment of XenApp. It might take even longer than 10 o'clock, so whoever wants to leave at 10 is okay because it's going to be recorded. But if you want to have that live session and some questions you want to ask, then XenApp deployment is going to be going on. I'll just continue that, or at least put it to some proper finish. Then we can continue the second one, right? It's a break, so guys, uh, take a break. 9:04, we meet again. Fine. Okay, so data collector. This is if there's a server farm here, Citrix server farm. There is that zone, so which are separate, physically separate areas. Zone 1, Zone 2, some Citrix servers are here and there. So data collectors would be, the first Citrix servers that were introduced in the farm. So to maintain consistent information between zones, data collectors relay information to all other data collectors in a farm, creating network traffic. So they want to relay information to all the data collectors to maintain consistent information between zones. So one zone, one set of Citrix form would Citrix servers would know all the information about what applications are deployed on the other Citrix form, and how the load balancing is working. Is there net scaler available there for relay of all this information faster? And so all the information between two forms, the data collectors of that form will tell the other form, hey, we have this much configuration and this is going on, these many applications. And so our data collector is an in-memory database that maintains dynamic information about the servers in the zone, such as server loads, how much load is on the server or which server, session status, how many users are connected at a given time, how many are idle, how many have disconnected, how many are just joining, published applications, users connected, and license usage. So one set of servers have up-to-date information of what's going on with the other set of servers. So hence the name data collector, right? Excuse me. And they receive incremental data updates, yeah. And data collectors relay information to all other data collectors. This is in detail. By default, in forms that communicate indirectly with the data store, the first server in the form functions as the data collector. So first server we're going to deploy just now will be the data collector, right? And there are data collector elections there. If one data collector holder server goes down, then the elections take over and some other server is given the data collector role. Then there are zones. A logical group of XenApp servers communicating with a single data collector is called a zone. So a group of servers having one data collector at least is called a zones. Are typically based on subnets. Sharing data across zones can cause an increase in bandwidth consumption. So as a best practice, keep the number of zones to a practical minimum. One zone is optimal. So we can segment it according to the subnets, but zones are still, a group of servers with one data collector if the definition goes. Worker group allow multiple servers to be grouped together to ease administration. So we can, if we have hundreds of Citrix servers in big environments, we have that. So we can have a group of servers working together, and we can put some applications on one set of servers and change their configuration simultaneously. So additional XenApp components are these: load manager, resource manager, access gateway. We're going to be talking more about in next classes here. So okay, and these are some of the default ports that are there, and I'm just gonna send you that. So for interview, these are interesting questions. If you're a system admin for Citrix, you would want to talk to the firewall guys to open these ports for the Citrix communication. And now the lab steps. Yay! We're coming down to the lab. So add .NET Framework 3.5 on all network servers or Citrix servers, and then these are the steps we're going to take. Now the first step I am about to start is to make sure that .NET Framework 3.5 is there, and also to map the XenApp ISO file to each of the virtual machines. So if I drag this diagram here, so the Citrix DVD-ROM should have the XenApp ISO file attached to it, and Citrix mem01 and mem02 should have it. So first I'm just going to check that if ISO file is connected. So if I go back to my environment here, Citrix DC, because this will be the Citrix license server as well, our domain controller. So that's why I have to map the DVD, map the ISO file of Citrix XenApp6.5 to the DVD of this server as well. So I'm just going to right click the settings and go to the DVD, and then go to ISO image file, go to browse, and I will just try to go to the million folders I have. Let me just drag that. Oh, I can't. So anyway, I'm just gonna go for that folder here, and XenApp. So you're looking for this file, XenApp6.5 2008 R2 underscore ML. So if you have that file, just go ahead and just connect it. So this is the file I uploaded there. It's for 4.7 gigs. I hope you have downloaded it if you're working with me. So double click that and attach it to the CD-ROM. Yeah, well, it's gonna pop up here. I'm just gonna quickly attach this to the second server CD-ROM as well. 4 hours. Oh, okay. So there's a comment in the chat that it's going to download in 4 hours. You just started downloading. Hey, I sent that like way back 1 hour before the class. Sorry. So, but you have all the week to. That's why there's a recording going on, and you have all the week to do that, right? So I'm just gonna go for CD-ROM for the second machine. Go to the ISO of that, and oh, seriously, I have to go to the same link again. Edu and Citrix software XenApp and 6.5 2008 R2. Okay, 2012 ready today. Okay, sorry Anne for that mistake from my side. And so even on the second class, we could do this lab. And that's why there's a recording here. Even if you want this weekend to come up with this lab, we can have the next class even on Tuesday instead of the Sunday. Well, it's up to all the students that if you want to recreate the whole environment in 2008 now. Excuse me. So we're not gonna count that as the class if we want to pause, or if we want to skip this Sunday class to get this lab ready according to this video. So if you need more time, we can give that time and have the next class on Tuesday if you want. Otherwise, if the majority of the students get this lab ready by this Sunday, so Sunday morning we will have that class. But right now, try to understand, and then repeat that with the 2008. I have already uploaded that 2008 ISO. Yeah, so 2008. Yeah, this was my mistake. Sorry again, everyone. So 2008, you have to create that environment. We're not going to count this class as missed, the Sunday one, if you want to take time to excuse me. Samosa. Okay. Whoa. How did you know I just had samosa? Okay, sorry. So anyway, let's go ahead and put this Citrix here for the second machine. I'm gonna try to put that in the third machine. let's go ahead because I could have to go on more than 10 o'clock, later than 10, to complete this lab. So I'm just going to give this path of the Citrix ISO to XenApp. Okay, so XenApp ISO has been mounted to these three 2008 machines. There's that uh, you know auto run from the XenApp. So I'm just going to start that on the DC first, the domain controller. Why? According to our plan, we plan to install here the XenApp license server. So I hope only this color changes if I want to really put it. Yep, and B. So first XenApp license server here, and the second one we are going to be putting XenApp server and XenApp web interface. So I'm just gonna put it red as well. And then the third one I'll just put here as XenApp server only, and so at least it should be the load balancer partner and this form for the first XenApp server. So later we're going to be putting some applications there and trying to publish them for the clients. So okay, this is the plan for today for the basic lab. I am on the DC right now, and I will try to configure the license server. So let's go ahead and follow this plan. I could be going back and forth on these servers to at least start the basic installation of all these XenApp server. So that's why I mounted the DVD on all three of them. But I'm gonna keep on explaining what I'm doing in the map as well. So this is my DC right now, where I can install the license. But in order to install the license, I have to go for manually install components. I'm not going to click install XenApp server, and I have clicked it, manually install components, and it's going to be responding shortly. While this is going on, so there's a comment there. Okay, there's a one vote for let's skip this Sunday class, so we can uh, there's one guy saying that this, instead of this weekend Sunday class, you would want to create this lab. So definitely, let's put it to vote. Every user has to say that okay, I need more time, so we're not going to count that day, and we're gonna have the class on Tuesday. So let's see. At the end of the class, we're gonna have that vote, or we're gonna send an email in the Google group, and majority of you, if you want some more time to get this lab up and running and need this weekend, so we can have the next class on Tuesday, right? Let's go ahead and so this is the license. Manually install this. So I'm just gonna go to menu install and then common components. There is that Citrix licensing, right? So while yeah, so there's a comment there. Aren't we installing .NET 3.5? Yes, you're right. So we will be doing that too. But I wanted to show you one more thing. During the installation of XenApp, it actually tries to do that itself, but it is required there if in case it XenApp misses it, or if there's some corruption. Okay, so first DC Citrix licensing. I'm just gonna click this now, and let's go ahead. So this is preparing to install the license dashboard, or a web-based interface here, and we're gonna let it go, and I'm just going to go for the okay, it's there, the license setup. So even for the evaluation version, we have to install the licensing for that separately. So I accept the terms and conditions, click next. Yes, this is the path. We're going to install the licensing portion role of the Citrix server. While this goes on, I could save time and go to the second server where the auto yeah, there's another comment there. Can we have a direct link from Citrix for download? So trying to have a direct link from Citrix to download what? So we have the ISO, right? From oh, you want the XenApp to be downloaded from Citrix? That's going. Yeah, you can go to the best thing. Go for Google and try to go there and try to download it. But I will show you now. Oh, 6 hours for downloading from Dropbox. Okay, let me show you then. Just if you have all created the. Okay, so there's a comment in chat that you have tried to search for 6.5, but there is only 7.5 there, right? Yes, it is a bit difficult to find, and I had to go through Google inside Citrix to get the older version of 6.5, and that's why I have it easily available. Yeah, so yes, and you're right. This 6.5, it was quite difficult to find it. Right now, 7.5 XenApp is there. That's why this link. So guys, if you're downloading now, just keep downloading it. But if it's taking time, you have the weekend now, and you have this video. So I'll just try to record everything quickly here, so you could follow throughout the week. Try not to do that now with me, right? Because of something, it was my mistake anyway. So, but that's why we are giving 1 day off, so you could do on the weekend this and contact us if you have any problem, right? Oh, okay. And so you did all the research already. So 6.5 right now is available only for customer and partner, and we have to register as a developer. So that's why just keep downloading that from Dropbox and take your time until the next Tuesday, right? Okay, so run. I'm just gonna run auto run on this second server, and here we need to install XenApp server. So I'm going to save time and try to install here on the second server, which is Citrix mem01. It is at once as soon as I click this install XenApp server, it's saying .NET 3.5. SP1 is not installed on this system. Click OK to install .NET 3.5. I press OK here. This may take a minute or two. It says I'll leave this guy here. Sorry, not this guy. This server here. So I'm gonna go and save time. Okay, licensing. Oh, Shahid, that's good that you're following. Thank you. But please, on licensing server, do not click any button at until you see what I'm doing. For guys, licensing, I'm gonna be doing something there, so I'm gonna be waiting for something. So wherever licensing installation stops, keep it there. Do not go ahead. I'm gonna go back and check. Okay, so this is the case. If this is the case, definitely we have to click finish. But after clicking finish, do not click any other button. I'm back on the Citrix DC now, and I'm checking the Citrix licensing setup, and it has reached finish. So I'm gonna click finish, but be careful, guys. After that, there will be an other window appearing here, and we need to wait for that window to appear. And do not click any of the other buttons here. Well, if you do click, I mean, the window will just go back here, right? But anyway, let's wait for that extra window to appear where it's going to ask for the username, admin username and password. This one. Okay, so this window, it's just showing the license server port 27,000, vendor daemon port 7279, management console web port default 8082. So set a password for the license administration console, username password. Username is admin, remember that. And oh, okay, sorry, Syed. Yeah, so you were asking, comment in the chat. Yeah, please just follow this one, thank you. And username admin and the password. Well, many of you know the class password, but those who don't, I have mentioned that class password in that forum as well. So I'm just gonna put it here, that uh, let it be our little secret, and whoever on the YouTube, if you're gonna see this video, this is the password. Please don't tell anyone, okay? On the YouTube especially. Oh, okay, so I'm just kidding. Okay, ABC, then capital ABC and shift, keep pressing shift and 123 is our class password here, and try, do not put this password on your Hotmail Gmail, please. One of my students did that. Actually, not one, more. Anyway, just use the class password everywhere. Wherever you put the password, just put this, or put whatever password you're used to, but just try to put one password, right? If you don't have any other difficult password, go for this one, small ABC, capital ABC, and keep pressing shift. 123 will get you these special characters here. It's a pretty safe password. So let's just put it there. Um, Let me go back there. I have put the same password here for my environment. I'll keep this password for every other credential prompt. Press OK here for the license server. Once it is done, then we're going to go ahead and try to open the dashboard as well. But these are the ports that we need to know that the license server will communicate through. Okay, remember that the username is admin and the password what you gave. So while this is going on, I'm gonna save time and go to Citrix mem01. Here the XenApp is ready to roll. So there are roles. Remember that Windows 2012 also has roles, or Windows has roles. So there are Citrix also has roles. So we're gonna be deploying the roles here, and while the license server on Citrix DC is being configured, I can click this ahead and start the roles deployment. Let me check and save time by going to Citrix mem02 as well, and let's check where it is. Okay, the auto run, click that, it's just starting. Then I'm gonna start the install XenApp server. It's asking for 3.5, but it's going to deploy it itself. So these Citrix mem01 and mem02 will be part of the Citrix farm, and we're going to be publishing applications on these two servers, while Citrix DC is just dedicated for domain controller and also for the licensing of the Citrix servers, right? So here I think, yeah, it is done. So the licensing part has been done. So the management console, let me check if the management console has been deployed. So Citrix here and license administration console. So if that procedure is done, then we go for license administration console. Click that. So now guys, the thing to understand here is that okay, there's a question there in the chat. What happens if Citrix DC is down for some reason? So that's why we should have two domain controllers, and also licensing server going down, we should get it up right away, but it is not going to at once disrupt the whole communication process or the functioning of that. Once the license is received by the Citrix form, they just continue to work, but definitely we should get it up and running as soon as possible. So okay, license server, this is the dashboard. I'm just gonna put it to full screen now. This is the dashboard for the license administration console, and I'm just gonna go to the administration area, and we do remember our username password here, right? So admin and the password which I gave you secretly. So okay, submit. Yeah, remember it. I'm just gonna say Internet Explorer, please remember it, press yes. Okay, so where to put the license, and in fact, what license? Where is that license? So we need to have a license file So first I'm just clicking here, and then I'm going to click import license to import the file, right? So now we're gonna go to the Citrix website to get that license file for the evaluation version, right? So this is the area. For once I first I went to administration, then I went to vendor, daemon configuration, and then import license. If I click the import license, it's asking for .lic or license file, and it says all this that hey, you have to follow this. So okay, on the comment, meanwhile mem01 is ready for edition selection. Okay, that's good. So yeah, let's now check the, let's get back to the license server, because now the part to go to the website and actually get that license is the next one. So here, how do we get the license? So we have installed the license server here. Let's go to mycitrix.com, and then I hope everyone must have created your free account in citrix.com or mycitrix.com. So let me go there and show you what's going on. So I'm gonna drag the screen here, and then let's go to mycitrix.com, enter, and oh, I'm already logged in here. So log out is there, so this means I'm already logged in with my Gmail account. So guys, well, I can just log out and show you. Okay, so citrix.com, and there I will just go for, when you type mycitrix.com, that's just going to take you here. Then log in or create your new account here, free account here, and just give all the information of your account. So then log in. Once you log in, you will be going to the active to the previews and betas license retrieval, to this area, right? Once you go to this area, previews and betas, license retrieval, then the list of all the products licenses come here, and these are all the evaluation licenses, right? So this was Citrix desktop, but we don't need that. We need XenApp evaluation here, right? So click here, and then there will be set of keys, evaluation keys for 90 days available for you. My name is mentioned here, and that date is mentioned there, today's day. So then there is that Citrix XenApp evaluation 90-day, but there is also Citrix XenApp evaluation 90 days. So there are 4 keys mentioned here. Yeah, all same. No, not all same. So you can see the last one, GNTFT. No, but yeah, it is for keys are different, but exactly the product is same. So if we have run out of first key, we can go for the second key. I did go through the process of getting the key, and let me check if but I did take all the screenshots as well, so I'm gonna show those screenshots and send you in the email as well once you want to go through the process of getting the key. If I go to the first key here, is it going to ask me? Okay, good. So this is it. You click that first key. What you need to do is, it's going to create a license file for you, and it's going to let you download that license file. We need for our XenApp environment just one license file, and what we need to do is we need to put the name of our server. So if I go back here, we need to put the name of our server. If I go to command prompt and put this command host name, the license file is case sensitive, right? So if I right click here, click mark, and select this Citrix DC, so select this Citrix DC like this, and then when I right click, it copies that to the clipboard, right? But why would I do that, or how do I know that I need to do this? So the thing is, if you click this link here, determine license server name, it shows you how to do it and exactly to locate your license server name, host name on your license server machine. Open a command prompt and just type host name. It exactly says what I just did, right? So it gives you that instruction here. I'll close that now. So it is case sensitive. If you have the name written some in some other case there and you put the name here, that license file will not work. So I'm going to click continue here, and since I already created once that name, I was gonna say since I created that one name, that's why I see this is there. Oh, it's not here. Okay, cool. So here host ID, oh, see, I did put that. So Citrix DC with capital C and capital D and C, and the rest of the words are all small. So I put it like that. Citrix DC. I think it's not gonna make that again, but if I click continue here, oh, it did it again. Okay, cool. Well, that's good. I wanted to show you. So confirm. We have done select, we have done configure, we are on the confirm. I'll confirm that it's for 90 days evaluation. This key, we don't need to put that key, we need the file, LIC file to download, right? So I'm just gonna click confirm here. It's an evaluation anyway, so you know, even if anyone gets the key, it doesn't matter, it's an evaluation. So now it says your allocation was successful. Would you like to download your license file? I'll say okay, yes, download it for me, thank you very much. Okay, so it's gonna show you, okay, this is the server name and the license file. If you select this, then the download comes, and there you go, download. See this, the full file name is there. It doesn't show the name we selected, but against that it created its own license file, right? So I already created that license file here. Is it exactly the same? No, it's different. Cool. So I created it before, so this is a new file. I'm just going to download that. It's downloaded. Once it is show in full, so I'm just gonna see it there. Okay, this is the license file I just downloaded, and I'm just going to right click and copy it to where? To the license server, which is this Citrix DC. And if I go to the local folder or documents folder and paste, okay, there you go. So that's how we retrieve the evaluation license, and this is it. Now excuse me. So we have the license file, put in the documents. I'm just gonna minimize that, minimize this, and I'm gonna browse here and go for the document, check the time and date, 11/3 and 9:32. Yep, that's it. So double click that, it's here now. Import license. Good. As long as you get the green signal, you're good. Okay, so let's press OK here. We're good, we're done. And as far as the licensing is concerned, we're okay. Okay, what's this still hovering around? Okay, so now the Citrix other two servers where we need to create the form. So one server has reached the additions area, the second server is on add roles. So I'm just gonna click that, and let's see if it comes to that as well. Okay, it's there, Platinum Edition. So there are three editions. In the PDF or in the PowerPoint slide, we saw that there are a long list of things that are supported by each of these. The least of the things are in Advanced and the Enterprise Edition, and all of the features are in Platinum Edition. So we're gonna select Platinum here, and then I accept the terms of the license. Next. Now the common roles are here. On the Citrix MEM01, we're gonna choose license server. No, we're not gonna choose license server. Why? Because it's already there on Citrix DC. So we're gonna choose XenApp and web interface. That's the two roles we're going to be installing, although there are many other roles later during the course we're going to be trying them as well. Right now it's two of these, right? On the server on which we are creating the farm itself, the first server, we're gonna have these two roles only, and select it and next. And then we're gonna keep the other optional components there. We're not gonna select anything here, but we're gonna be talking later about all these. Right now we need to get our basic environment up and running. So for now, just those two choices, and then click next. Now it's going to do a long installation, and there will be reboots involved, which is okay, and click next. This is all what it's going to install, and most cases it's going to be all automatic, but it's going to stop at certain points where we need to really keep an eye on that it's asking for, hey, reboot now or resume now. So we have to keep an eye on this installation. So click install there, let it start the installation, because once all these are installed, then it's going to say where's the licensing server, and we have to give the name of that licensing server once this installation is done. And then it's going to create the form. If there is no licensing server there, it's not possible to create a form. Okay, so XenApp Platinum Edition has successfully installed. Yeah, right. Okay, these two roles have been installed: remote desktop services role and desktop experience. But there are others skipped due to pending reboot. Okay, pending reboot. Everything else is saying pending reboot because they're going to be installed after reboot. So click finish. It's going to come up and say, hey, reboot now. So prerequisite requires restart. Yes, go ahead. Same with the second one, Platinum Edition. Accept the license, next. But here we're going to only select as a load balancing partner of the first one. This second one will be XenApp only. We don't need a web interface, we just need one on any one of the servers. Next. Nothing here for now. Next. And yes, it's going to have the same procedure of reboots, so let's go ahead. I think it's going to be even faster than the previous one. These two are actually the Windows services, remote desktop services and desktop experience. So it's going to install the Windows components, then it's going to go for Citrix ones. Okay, if I go back and check the first one, it's on this percentage, but going fine. And the second one has just started. So there is a comment in the chat. What do you mean web interface? Which user can connect to their profile? So web interface is the middle guy. So there was a diagram there. If I go back to that, this one, so through web interface, the client device is connecting through the web interface to the published apps. So in the browser of the client, those icons are available because of this web interface server, right? So we need to provide all those published applications through a web browser. So for now, we need the web interface server in the middle. That's going to make it possible, right? Because it's the interface, the thing that we see or we deal with or interact with, and it's going to be the web browser based. So that's why it's in the middle. Because it's going to show all the published applications in the browser. We're going to be talking in much more detail with each of those components later as well. Okay, so second server, which is just XenApp server, has done the initial installation and is pending for a reboot. Click finish, then it pops up for a reboot. Click reboot. Yes, the first one is back, so it's going to automatically install. So also here, when you come back, don't go for just administrator. Make sure you're putting the prefix of your domain, Citrix domain because there's a local administrator as well, right? So it's gonna think that you want to log in locally, not from domain. So we have to mention no, we want to log in to the domain. Okay, so it's going to start the Citrix installation itself after the logging in. There you go. And it is asking for resume install. Okay, so let's resume. While this is doing this, checking the second one, and it's going to go through that percentage. So I'm just going to go back to the first one, and let's see what it asks. Is it asking to communicate with the license server? Oh yeah, guys, at this stage, if there's a okay, so let me have this installed, and then so whenever it's installs all this information, all these features, it's going to want to communicate with the license server. So we know, okay, there's another, sorry, in Citrix account, where to find the product. There's another comment in the chat. So Citrix account, let's go to the Citrix account. So are you on this area? So if I go to home, which just took me way somewhere else, so free trial. So if I go to downloads and free trials, does it take me to the same? Otherwise I'll just go for my Citrix. No, it's gonna be different interface. So well, if I go to XenApp, well, this is like some and try it, and does it take to the same environment? Because it says 90 days, right? If I go to just try it for XenApp, does it take me to the my Citrix? Because I want to just, if you type just directly my Citrix, that's supposed to take you there directly. XenApp trial, but this is a 7.5. You're right. So my Citrix string that it shows still the, see, when I put just my Citrix instead of going to, then it takes me to this prompt where I could go for I'm already logged in, so it just took my password, which is saved in the browser. So my Citrix takes me to the previews and betas directly for licensing, and from previews and betas. So, and were you able to access that? So if I log out from here, and when you go for my Citrix, it is supposed to take you here on this page, and then log in and previews, betas, license retrieval. And then, but if you go for the other Citrix console, it's gonna take you directly to the new one, 7.5. And here then the XenApp evaluation. Okay, well, let me check that environment back there. So first server is still installing stuff. Second should be back. It is back. So let me just log in with the second one as well. Citrix domain / administrator and the class password. So, and you were able to see that through my Citrix. Okay, it's also saying after logging in back to resume install and going through the same set of all the features to be installed. So while the second one is still there is no XenApp under my preview and betas. Serious? Why? So you don't see this? Xen Desktop, XenApp, Developer Edition, XenApp Evaluation, XenApp Fundamentals. Did you create an account? What did you say you are? Did you put a company? You're supposed to put a company there. Any company, And You don't see this, all this? Maybe you just created now, that's why. Okay. You need to add the product to, well, um, through my Citrix, it just takes you directly to the evaluation ones. I couldn't log in soon after I created my account. Oh, well, it may take time, or just reset your password again. There are comments coming on the chat, guys, so I'm just directly answering them. How to add the product? I didn't have to add the product. I just went to mycitrix.com. Maybe I could show my profile, but it takes me really somewhere else if I go for. Let me check. See all in my account. Manage licenses. Renew maintenance. Well, these are already allocated licenses. Strange. Anyone else is trying this to create the account, and anyone else is getting that problem? Yeah, dev means developer. Otherwise, I will treat as unknown customer. 3 email addresses. Serious? And did I have to use a company email? No, I just used mine. Uh, Strange. Seriously? Well, that I did that like. You have the option. So there's another student. Akash is saying he has the option. He can see that, and he. Akash, did you create just now? You have put dev plus name. Okay, so there's another student. He's talking privately, actually. Akash, you could do this. Choose drop down this send to and choose everyone. Then others can also see that. So you created the account in evening, right? Well, it depends on what you put there. See, and you did it yesterday. That's why it's not working. If you had created today evening only, it would have worked. I'm just kidding. Come on, guys, just kidding. So we can't see you chat. No, I'm not chatting. I'm just talking. Oh. Oh, okay. So customer account. Okay. Shahid, you're able to see those options as well, which I'm showing here on the screen. Oh, so and everyone, there are two guys who are seeing this option. I think you have to put the right side instruction. New licenses. This table contains newly assigned licenses for your company. Please click the hyperlink to allocate. Yeah. If you would like to retrieve more licenses, please select retrieve. Well, anyway, let me check the environment as well. There are some licensing issues going on. No, not licensing issues. The count. Let me just check both. Oh, okay, it's waiting on me to click the install. There you go. So both, it's nearly finishing with the XenApp on the first one where we are supposed to create the form. Okay, let's go back and check that problem. So two guys just created that account. So Shahid and Akash, you can share what you put while creating the account. Did you put as, company name was there, or the customer account was there? Maybe Anne can create that way. I also didn't have to, I just created one free account without giving it much. I did with customer account. Okay. So, and maybe something put for personal use. Oh, okay, so you put personal use. Oh gosh, it will work. Okay. Oh, okay, thanks. then you could try that. I I try personal use? Well, I don't remember. I created that account 2 3 weeks ago. Okay, anyone else creating that account? You can also share your experience, guys, because there's an installation going on. So you could create your account now on mycitrix.com, free account, and then go for evaluation. And if there is any problem, share with me, with us. So, well, I can go and see all in my account if I go to that. Well, that's the my account area should be, showing here. Oh, Zen desktop license? Okay. No XenApp? Strange. Because, here's that previous and betas licensing. But, okay, you're there, but you just see desktop license. Why? Did you choose 7.5 desktop when you were trying to, choose a new product? Or you were asked to choose a product and it was only 7.5? Oh, but there, 7.5 is actually a mix of app and desktop, actually. To get the info again, click on create account. Oh, okay. I need to create an account? And then Chrome has the autofill option to cheat. Okay, cheat. Oh, okay, thanks. So log out. Let's go to create account and create a customer account or partner account. Okay, let's go for customer. And then, so Anne, did you create a customer account? And okay, because we cannot be partners, so we have to go for customer one. And while this is going on, I'm gonna just check back. Okay, there are those options here, and if I select any one of those, that's just autofill form, right? mm, yeah, company is, well, it's not remembering my previous selection, so I double click and it's not putting it there. So um well, let me just go back. But what, I just put any random company. I didn't put any something.com, actually itprofcourses.com. Yeah. Oh, serious? Your our email will be blocked? Okay, if I go to create personal account and yeah, on the right side, attention Citrix partners, but that's for partners. Developers, to register for a Citrix developer account, please enter into the company field dev, first name, last name, example. Please understand this account will not be associated with any company or partner account and should be limited to use as a independent Citrix developer community member. Okay, so you followed that instruction. Oh, Mahfouz, you're also seeing the same thing. I did not, guys. I just put my company name, tprofcourses.com, and I did not put the fields there. And let me check what email. Oh, there's no. Seriously, there's no email option. That's it. So my company has a customer account, yeah. So when I was filling the form, I put my company name, and the only thing I could select was customer. Yes, you're right. But I think I did not use my company email. But let me confirm that. If I had used, I am opening my company email as well. Okay, the installation is done here, guys. So let me put this to end for the record of the video, so you could follow throughout the week and weekend. So if it reaches here, then let me check the second as well. It's still going through, so I need to create a Citrix form here. So guys, excuse me, I will just try to finish this. Okay, let's click finish. Okay guys, this is the most important area after you have gone through next finish and reboots and resume installation. This is the area specify licensing. Without configuring this, you cannot go ahead and install anything. Like, you cannot go ahead with creation of a form for Citrix. So you have to click this specify licensing, and when we click this, it's asking for where is the licensing server. If we don't go through this process, this is going to be a problem. So where is my Citrix server? It's on my Citrix DC, right? So what I need to do is just put the Citrix DC server name and click the test connection. If the connection is okay, connection to license server is successful. Yay! So it's good. So as long as it's okay, if it is not okay, then you have to check the firewalls there, you have to check the ping there, just check the basic connectivity between this server and the Citrix DC, which is currently our licensing server as well for Citrix. So close this and click next. There will be another no product licenses found on license server Citrix. We can ignore this right now because we just went for XenApp licenses, and it's going to say that, and if we try again, it's not gonna do that. Let's continue with that and ignore this. Right now, select licensing model XenApp. We just have XenApp, and Xen Desktop, nope. Xen Desktop user device, nope. So we're just gonna stay with XenApp and click apply, and still click continue, and there you go. It's the licensing, it says specified. We are good now. So we can now click configure here, and this is where the create a new server form will start. So I'll quickly check the second one. Second one is also click finish, and it says specify licensing, and I'm gonna click for the second one as well quickly. The license server is Citrix DC, and then test connection, and close. Oh, did you say it's successful? Yeah, okay. Close, next, continue, XenApp, apply, continue, and let it go. So while it is going there, let me go back to the first one. It says you want to create a new form. So we can create a new form here by clicking this, and I can put that new form there as I could just go for, just like in Microsoft environment for MCSA courses, we go for mydomain.local. I'll just go for my farm. So, or you can go for Old McDonald has a farm as well, no problem. But anyway, my farm, and click next. It will be a new database. We don't already have a SQL server, so we just go and keep it new database clicked. Next, it's gonna ask for your Windows credentials, so administrator and the password, and press OK. Next, and then it says for allow shadowing of user sessions on the server, prohibit remote control. You know what's shadowing? Shadowing is to you as a desktop support or as an administrator shadow a session of another user, which just means that you are watching that user's session. Now you want to prohibit remote control of that session. You don't want your desktop support or yourself or other administrators to actually control that session, or force a shadow acceptance pop-up. Like the user should have a pop-up saying, hey, somebody is trying to see your session remotely, or force logging of all shadow connections for who's doing what. And for troubleshooting purposes, you would want to have a log who connected or who shadowed any other user's session, because it's a privacy thing as well, right? So some companies have a strict policy of not shadowing, others have. So we can just go for prohibit shadowing of user sessions on the server, or allow sharing of user sessions. So this is just for administrators that we can just go for. If you prohibit sharing, the setting is permanent, so let's not go for prohibit. At least allow session, but we can put some other extra restrictions here, prohibit remote control over this, right? But don't go for prohibit shadow, because later if you want to start shadowing, you won't be able to do that, right? So just keep it to defaults right now and go next. There's that other services that we're going to be talking in detail, features, but right now data collection options, click next. So the first server in the form always becomes the data collector as well, remember? So click apply, and now the first form of the Citrix is being created. The other server will wait for this licensing server. It got connected to license server, so that it is specified. So if I want to configure this now, of course we cannot go for create a new server on the second server here, right? It will just join to the server existing form once that form is created, and now this form is getting created, right? So it's going to set up the SQL Server, Express Edition, Citrix Data Store, which is database, initialize the database, then Citrix IMA service. IMA service is responsible for server to server communication, and registering Citrix administrators, configuring commands, remoting service. So all the other options will be configured. This is kind of the final phase of the form creation of Citrix. Later we will be adding this server to this form, which will at least conclude the creation of the basic Citrix environment. And we will later go for all the options and tabs and concepts behind all those, and then later how to publish applications, licensing modes, everything. So that's going to take some time now, and it's okay. There's a comment there. Licensing mode for both is XenApp. Yeah. So we got a license for XenApp. That's it. One license we need. Evaluation to run this XenApp environment. That's the comment in the chat. Guys, this will keep going for some time, and oh, okay, I think it's fast. Wow, thought it's gonna take time. After that, yeah, I'm for the video. I'll be sitting here too until it finishes, definitely. So, and you will get that video. So guys, one more thing about the video: when we upload the video to the group, there will be a Dropbox link for that video. Do not try to watch live on the Dropbox that video. You must download that video, and then it will you will be able to see all the video. Otherwise it will just play 15 minutes, and then I get angry emails. So so don't try to watch online the Dropbox video. Or yeah, of course it will be on YouTube as well, so you can watch there as well, right? Okay. But it will be on Dropbox as and YouTube, because many people say that I want to download, and then some people say no, YouTube. So we'll have both options. Form name is same to both member server. There's a comment there. Yeah. So there will be the form name is once given only when the form is being created. After that, of course, and the form name has to be unique actually. So yeah. And okay, so it's done. Okay, there's another question, guys. When will we have our next class? So what is the vote for everyone? You want to create that environment, you want to take time, extra time for you want to come this Sunday morning, or you want to take this weekend to create this basic environment, and if there's a problem you want to connect So there's one vote for yes, you want a Sunday class. There were two or three votes. There are two votes now, yes, to have a Sunday class. And there's one vote for Tuesday. So there are some people saying that they will be able to do that before the Sunday to create this environment. Okay, there are three votes for Sunday. Okay, we guys. Okay, there are four people for Sunday. So please, everyone, put your opinion there. A majority is authority. Okay, there are two for Tuesday. Okay, we're not coming on Thursday, so there are three for Tuesday and five for Sunday. Both okay. Anne is also okay for. Yeah, it's not Thursday, it's Sunday. So their majority is still going for Sunday class, guys. So, okay. So Citrix form, I'll click finish here, and it requires a reboot here. So I'm just gonna click reboot, press yes, while the other is so guys, yes, there are more votes for Sunday, so please create this environment. You will have that video by tonight or tomorrow morning, hopefully. So you will have, yeah, Sunday is 10 to 1, so morning 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock. Sunday morning 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock, right? So and this Citrix form should be, your environment should be exactly at this level, so we could go ahead, right? Everyone should be on this level by Sunday. So take your time on Saturday, take your time on Friday, and try to finish that, or tomorrow as well, right? Tomorrow is just Wednesday, so you have 3 days to complete this, and I don't think it's a big challenge. So you just have to come up with 2008 environment, and everything is now on the video, so it's easy, right? On MEM01, web interface needs to be configured as well. Yeah, the web interface, we're going to be doing it later. There is this error showing here, we can safely ignore that for now. So we just want to have our environment ready for now. So the first form, I'm just gonna log into that. Form has been created for the Citrix domain / administrator. So guys, yeah, majority vote is for Sunday, so there will be class this Sunday. You can still show some votes during the week for the, try to convince others, hey, no, do that. So if there are more votes during the week for Tuesday, then we can. Otherwise, right now it's Sunday because there are more votes for that. Yeah, next class is on Sunday. Okay. Okay, this is Florida on Dropbox after 1 day delay. Let me response. So yeah, this video will be, the link will be sent on YouTube as well. So we'll try to put it by tonight or tomorrow morning, so you could have it as soon as possible. Remote desktop mode. So now we have this Citrix form available here, which we will be later trying to explore. Right now, add this server to an existing form. If I go to the second server, existing SQL Express a database, existing, yeah, this is the existing database, and it's asking for, where's that database located, and it's not local. So either server name or IP address. We know that this database is located on the Citrix MEM01. So let's go for the IP address for that. 192.168.200.2 is the Express Edition database. So the second server of the Citrix form wants to know the address of the Express Edition database, which is on the first server of the Citrix form, right? So I'm just putting that address. Let's see if it accepts that. Okay, it says who is doing this. So credentials. I'm just gonna put those credentials here. I put the credentials, but test the connection. if it finds the database there, or if it's able to connect to that, it should say successful. And make sure that firewall, oh sorry, the firewall is on this one. Seriously. And is the firewall on there as well? Oops, firewall is on here as well. Not good. Okay. Go. Turn off the firewall. It's not gonna detect the database. 1, 2 on the second server as well. Turn off the firewall. Let's check if the test failed. Okay, test again. Now I have turned off the firewall. Alright, test successful. So it was the firewall. Press OK. Next. Shadowing. Yeah, we're gonna allow that. Next. Apply. It's joining. Scheduling server to join form on next reboot. Okay. So it's gonna join this form after the reboot, and we're gonna have 2 servers created in the form, Citrix form. So, oh, there's another comment in the chat, guys. On Tuesday and Sunday morning there will be classes. So we were just thinking that if we skip this Sunday morning and you can create the lab perfectly, then we can come on Tuesday. But if there is any, if there's a Sunday class, still there will be a Tuesday class. Even after Sunday class, Tuesday it's a regular class, right? So this is just a second server joining and rebooting. So 10 to 12 on Sunday. Oh, okay, it's not 10 to 1. Okay, so I have an update here. It's 10 to 12, not 10 to 1. Hey, that's good actually. Oh, it's 10 to 1, sorry. Okay, there's still updates coming. Okay, so this is finished, and I need to reboot this as well. Reboot this server, second server as well. You must reboot that if you want this to be part of the form, if you want the form to discover that. There are some suggestions for Sunday morning class as well, if we can start from 8 to 11, but we have to put it to vote. Hey, it's Sunday morning, come on Ali. Sunday morning, it's everyone wants to wake up late. So Ali, 7 to 10. Whoa. How about Saturday night? Okay, anyway, so there's a no with 4 O's, so that's a really harsh no. So no, the Shahid web interface we're gonna do later. Right now, if the basic environment is up and running, so this basic environment should be up and running. So I'm just going to the first server now. XenApp server role manager. An instance of this application is already running. Sorry. So okay, close this. And if we close this, where is that? Okay, to see new applications in your start menu, you will need to enter the URL for a server computer. Let me just show you where we want to see that. There is one Citrix icon here, but this is just showing the receiver, which we'll talk about later. Administrative tools, if you go there, you will see Citrix here. So when you want to see the form, if it really was enabled or entered or installed, then Citrix, go to management consoles, then go to Citrix App Center. And for now, disable authenticate signature checking, just do that. And now Citrix form, still it has a final wizard here, discovery process. So I'm gonna uncheck the single sign-on for now. Just I want to run XenApp. Next, add local computer here and let it discover. So before discovery, I'm just gonna ignore this error for now. On the second server, I'm just going to try to log in from the Citrix domain.local. Oops. /administrator. So I'm just trying to see if the form sees both servers or not. Citrix form sees both servers or not. So if I go to the first one, the second one has already started. And okay, so next, and this is the local server, local discovery completed here. Click finish. This is the, at least one of your discovered XenApp forms does not contain any published applications. Yeah, we haven't published anything. This is the XenApp form that we wanted to see. Basically, my form shows all those settings that we're gonna go one by one. Right now, I would be interested in seeing both servers. There you go. If we click the servers, both servers are showing there. Ta-da! Okay, that's it. So, time to sleep. Okay, that's it, guys. So, please try to redo this lab before the Sunday morning. And Sunday morning at 10, we'll start the class. Please be at the right time there, exact time, and try to have that good coffee and try to have that breakfast before the class. And we're gonna meet, and please have this environment ready till this point before Sunday. And if there's a problem, you can contact us on Google Group or have your team viewer ready. So if there are no questions, then it's a good night to everyone. So stopping the video here. These two servers must be showing, which means your Citrix form is perfectly installed. Okay, so thank you, and good night to everyone, and see you on Sunday morning. And if there are anyone else who wants to join the Citrix, this is still not too late. Okay, goodbye. Good night, everyone. Good night. All right, good night. Stopping the video now.